Hey, it's David. Welcome and welcome back to Cross Fitness, helping men and women get in the best spiritual shape of their lives, one workout at a time. In this quick thought about God video, I'm going to share a thought that I'm calling the safest place in the world. Well, I wonder where that could be. I mean, we want to be there, don't we, for us and our loved ones? Well, I was reading a devotion on YouVersion with some guys from church. It was talking about King David, you know. He was out in the battle and he'd won a huge victory. And God, I mean, everywhere he went was practically invincible. I mean, God was with him. God was for him. God was just blessing every time he went to battle. He was completely, victorious. And after one particular victorious battle, he sent the army out, and then he stayed at home, right? And you know the story if you're familiar with King David and the Bible a little bit. That he stayed at home. Saw a naked woman, Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite, one of his mighty men, bathing. Fell into lust, invited her over, had sex with her, and got her pregnant. So and so the thought that was occurring to me, and I shared this in my comment on the YouVersion Bible plan with my buddies at church, says, you know what, he would have been much safer out on the battlefield with people shooting arrows at him, throwing spears at him, getting into hand-to-hand combat situations. He would have been much, much safer there than on the roof of his palace and, looking out and seeing something that he shouldn't see. He was in a place that he shouldn't been. Um, he saw a thing that he shouldn't have seen, and he did a thing that he shouldn't have done. And it was a matter of he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And so really the safest place in the world, I would contend, is really in the center of God's will. It's where God wants you to be. It's doing what God wants you to do at the time in which you and I are supposed to be doing it, right? And so whether that's the mission field, ministering in a place that's hostile to the gospel, if that's where God wants you to be, you know what? That's the safest place in the world for you to be. Wherever it is, as long as God is leading, guiding, and direct you, and you're being obedient to that, I'm arguing that is the safest place in the world to be, and that is in the center of God's will. Walking out God's purpose and plan for our lives. And so think about that as you go into your day today. That you know what? I'm not perfect, but I'm just my heart is contending for the faith and trying to walk out what God is telling me to do, where He's wanting me to be, and all of that kind of stuff. So don't go passive and just linger back of where you're supposed to be engaged in a battle. Um, you know, we can get into trouble with that instead of going and working on that church project or going and helping those people that God's leading you to do. We say, well, I think I'll just sit here. I deserve a day off, and I'm going to binge on Netflix or something, or you play around on the internet, or just relax on YouTube or something. And you go somewhere that you ought not to go. You see something you ought not to see, and it might stir up some lust in you or some other issue that is a problem. Okay, so safest place in the world. That would be the center of God's will. Well, I hope that encourages you a little bit. For now, I'm David, your virtual mentor, reminding you that I'm always for you. I'm never against you. Have a great day. See ya.